Tati Vedasastra Hite Parama Mahatva. This is the essence of all Vedas. To hoy, tar ortholoya Vyas korilo sanchoy. This is the last contribution of Srila Vyasadeva, taking essence from all Vedas, all Upanishads. He put everything here in Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai Sutre Jai Ruk, Vishaya Vachan, Bhagavate Sai Ruk Shloka Nibandhan. This is the natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Srila Vyasadeva has compiled Vedanta Sutra and he has given the commentary on it. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. You will find the same verses in Vedanta Sutra, the verses you will find here in Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai Sutre Jai Ruk Vishaya Vachan, Bhagavata Sai Ruk Shloka Nibandhana. Jiver Nishta Lagi Sutra Koilo Vyas, Mayavadi Bhasya Sunile Hoi Sarvanas. For the deliverance of jivas, Vyasadeva compiled this sutra, this Vedanta Sutra. But Mayavadis, they don't accept it. The propounder of Mayavad philosophy, Sripad Shankaracharya, he has given a commentary on Vedanta Sutra, which is completely imaginative commentary known as Saririka Bhasya. They don't accept Srimad Bhagavatam, which is natural commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. Vedanta Sutra. Who is the compiler of Vedanta Sutra? He has given the commentary on Vedanta Sutra, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. But Mayavadis, they don't accept it. They speak from Saririka Bhasya. Therefore, Sriman Mahaprabhu has given us caution, don't go to Mayavadis, don't listen to their commentaries on Vedanta Sutra. If you do so, your bhakti bruti will be completely finished. Therefore, instruction is, jao bhagavata pado Vaishnava sthani ekanta asya karo chaitanya charani. Go to a Vaishnava, go to a Bhakta Bhagavata, who is an embodiment of Bhagavata, hear Bhagavata from him, and completely take shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you want to understand Bhagavata, isn't it? Here is a question. Ekanta asya karo chaitanya charani. Take shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the necessity of taking shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in respect of understanding Bhagavatam? This is the question. So, anybody can answer? What the necessity of taking shelter of the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in understanding Srimad Bhagavatam? If someone cannot take shelter at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he cannot understand Bhagavatam. That means that, isn't it? Why it is so? That means you want to say that love of Godhead, that Krishna Prema is required to understand Bhagavatam, isn't it? Why it is so?
Krishna says he can only be...
No. Please answer. Yes?
To have that love is what we have given up, and that's why we're suffering, because we divorced our relationship.
That I don't want to hear. My question, answer should be pinpointed. What is the question and give the answer. You understand? Why the love of Godhead is required to understand Bhagavata? That is my question. Cannot anybody understand Bhagavata? Who is a Pandit? Who is a scholar? Isn't it? Bhagavata is written in Sanskrit language, isn't it? So who knows Sanskrit? He can say, I can understand. So what is the necessity of taking shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna? What is the necessity of Krishna Prema? Cannot a Pandit understand it? That's the question. A Pandit may think like that. Many Pandits are there. They speak in Bhagavatam also. Yes. All scholarly. Do you understand? But Mahaprabhu said, no. Ekanta ashraya karo Chaitanya charani. Completely accept at lotus feet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise you cannot understand Bhagavata. Why? Huh? Shivaji said, huh? Bhaktya bhagatung rajyum na buddhya na satikaya. Shivaji's statement, Shivaji, one of the Mahajans, who knows Bhagavad, he says, Aham vedmi sukha veti, vyasa veti vana veti, bhaktya bhagatung rajyum na buddhya na satikaya. Shivaji says, I know Bhagavata. Sukadeva knows Bhagavata. I don't know whether Vyasadeva knows or not. Bhaktya bhagatung rajyum na buddhya na satikaya. Only by bhakti you can understand Bhagavata. You cannot understand Bhagavata by dint of your material learning, scholarship, merit, intelligence, or taking help of the commentaries given by many commentators. Yes, many commentators are there. Those are given commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. And those all commentaries are written in Sanskrit language. Yes. So a Sanskrit scholar can say, all right, I'll take help of the commentaries given by many commentators. So I can understand. You understand? Of these commentators, Sridhar Swami is the best commentator. Mahaprabhu, Sriman Mahaprabhu has accepted. Sridhar Swami, Guru Karimani, Siddharānugata karo bhagavata vyakhyāna. Mahaprabhu said, he said that thing to Vallabhacharya, who was a very puffed up fellow, proud fellow, great scholar also. Do you understand? Once he said, Mahaprabhu, I have written a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, but I have not taught Sridhar Swami. Completely new commentary. Do you understand? So, he's such a puffed up fellow, very puffed up, proud fellow. Do you understand? And Mahaprabhu, many times Mahaprabhu crushed his pride. Mahaprabhu said, no, Swami je namane taku besya kari gani. One who don't accept Swami, Swami Sridhar Swami, Swami means husband, literal meaning. I understand he is a prostitute. He or she is a prostitute, one who don't accept husband or Swami, one who don't accept Sridhar Swami and explains Bhagavata, he is a prostitute. Siddharānugata karo bhagavata vyakhyāno. Siddhar Swami, Jagat Guru. Siddhar Swami is Jagat Guru. If you want to write something, comment on Bhagavata, speak on Bhagavata, follow Siddhar Swami. Accept Siddhar Swami. Siddhar Swami, the best of commentators. He has commentary on it. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has commentary on it. Madhacharya has commentary on it. Jiva Goswami has commentary on it. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur has commentary on it. Our revered spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, is Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj's commentary. This is Bhakti Vedanta purports are here. So many commentators are there. There's given commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam. So a scholar may think, all right, I'll take help of the commentaries and I can understand what the need of accepting the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What the need of Prem Bhakti. But Srimaji said, no. Bhaktya bhagatung rajyam na buddhya na satikaya. Only by bhakti you can understand Bhagavata. You cannot understand Bhagavata by dint of your scholarship, merit, intelligence, learning, or taking help of the commentators. Commentaries. Do you understand? Only by bhakti. Why? Why only bhakti is required to understand Bhagavata? That's another question. Why it is so? Why? Yes? Yes, that's a fact. Bhagavata is not different from Krishna. Bhagavata is not a mere shastra or grantha. Do you understand? Krishna tulya bhagavato vibhu sarvasraya prati shloke prati okhyure nana arthakaya. Chaitanya Bhagavata says, Vrindavan Das Thakur says, Krishna tulya bhagavato vibhu sarvasraya prati shloke prati okhyure nana arthakaya. It's as good as Krishna. Do you understand? As good as Krishna. Krishna Tulya is not different from Krishna. This is Krishna's Vani incarnation. Do you understand? Vibhu Sarvasraya. Krishna is Vibhu. Krishna is Supreme Lord. Similarly, Bhagavata is also Supreme Lord. Is not different from Krishna. Sarvasraya. As we take shelter of Krishna, similarly we must take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because he is Vibhu. Vibhu Sarvasraya. Prati shloke, prati akhyari, nanartha goy. In every verse, even in every word, even in every letter, many, many meanings are there. If you want to explain one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam perfectly well, it will take days together. Because it's Vibhu. Vibhu means Supreme Lord who is unlimited. Ananta. He is Ananta. He is unlimited. Yes, he is unlimited. Do you understand? Vibhu Sarvasraya, prati shloke, prati akhyari, nanartha. In every verse, in every word, every letter, many, many meanings are there. Because it's Vibhu Vastu. Because Supreme Lord is unlimited. So without bhakti, we cannot understand Krishna. Do you understand? Can anybody understand Krishna by dint of his merit, intelligence, learning? Only by bhakti. No mang sadhyati jogam, no sankhyan dharmodhava, no sudhyaya tapastyago, jatha bhaktir mamorjita. Krishna himself has said. Krishna himself said. How can one understand him? In Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam, many statements are there. Many statements are there. It's Krishna statements. What Krishna has said, how one can understand? Namang sadhiti jogam, no sankhya, no dharmodhava, no sudhyaya, tapastyago, jatha bhaktir mamurjita. 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says this thing to Uddhava. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, bhaktyamang abhijanati, bhaktyastu anannaya labhya, is Gita Vani. The statements of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Only by bhakti one can understand me. Ananya bhakti, unalloyed devotion. Some instruction to Uddhava in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto. Namang sadheti yoga, no sankhya, no dharma Uddhava, no sudhyaya tapastyago tatha bhaktir mamorjita. Uddhava, nobody can understand me. By sudhyaya, by Vedic study, by tapasya, undergoing severe austerity or penance, tyaga, complete detachment or renunciation, Sankhya by Sankhya Alosana by analytical study, sadhana by Yoga Sadhana, by Yoga Sadhana, mystic Yoga Sadhana, Ashtanga Yoga Sadhana also, cannot understand. No Masadi Yogam, no Sankhya, no Dharma, following strictly the principles of Dharma also, nobody can understand. Sudhyaya tapastyaga, jatha bhaktir mamurjita, as I am understood by bhakti only. So only bhakti is required to understand Krishna. And Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna, therefore prema bhakti is required. And Mahaprabhu gives prema bhakti. Therefore says, jao bhagavata pado, Vaishnava anasthane ekanta asya karo chaitanya chara. Therefore say, go to a Vaishnava, go to a Bhakta Bhagavata, who is an embodiment of Bhagavata, who is a dear devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and hear Bhagavata from him, and completely take shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who gives Prem Bhakti. Without that, nobody can understand Srimad Bhagavatam. That is why it is said. Bhagavata dena mane se javana sama, tar sasta che janme janme prabhu jama. One who doesn't accept Bhagavata is a mlecho and javan. He is to be punished by Jamaraj, not one life, life after life. Janme janme, life after life. Therefore, do you understand? These are some of the glorifications of Srimad Bhagavatam. Before approaching Srimad Bhagavatam, before reading, before speaking on Srimad Bhagavatam, we must glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. We must beg for His mercy. Without His mercy, we cannot approach Him. We cannot touch Him. we cannot speak on it. Therefore we glorify, as we glorify Supreme Lord and beg for His mercy. Without His mercy, we cannot understand Him. He will never reveal Himself before us. So without the mercy of Srimad Bhagavatam, we cannot touch Him. We cannot speak on it. Therefore we first glorify. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Now come to the text. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevayo. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevayo. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevayo. Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 15, text 9 to 12. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The demigods prayed to Brahma, please look upon us mercifully, for we have fallen into a miserable condition. Because of the darkness, all our work has been suspended. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Because of complete darkness throughout the universe, the regular activities and engagements of all the different planets were suspended. In the north and south poles of this planet, there are sometimes no divisions of day and night. Similarly, when the sunlight doesn't approach the different planets within the universe, there is no distinction between day and night. This is that in deities, the Rakshasa, they are Hiranyakshya, Hiranyakasipu, those who are great danger for the world. So such darkness has come. So demigods were praying to Brahma, please look upon us mercifully. We have fallen into miserable condition. Because of darkness, all our work has been suspended. Why there are so darkness? They couldn't understand. They are always in fearful situation. What would happen? There are always fearful situation, always anxiety, distressed condition. So they approached Brahma to know its cause. Then next verse, text 10 said, Esa devo ditir garho oja kasyapang arpitam disastrimirayan sarva vardhate agnirivedhasi. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. As fuel overloads a fire, so the embryo created by the semen of Kasyapa in the womb of Diti has caused complete darkness throughout the universe. This is the reason why there is darkness. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The darkness throughout the universe is explained herewith as being caused by the embryo created in the womb of Diti by the semen of Kasyapa. The next verse, text 11. Maitreya uvacho saprahasya mahabaho bhagavan sabdagocharaha pratyachastatma bhur devan prinan ruchiraya giram. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Maitreya said, thus the Lord Brahma, who is understood by the transcendental vibration, tried to satisfy the demigods, being pleased with their words of prayer. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Brahma could understand the misdeeds of Diti, and therefore he smiled at the whole situation. He replied to the demigods present there in words they could understand. And then this is text 12, is written here. Brahmo vacho manasa me suta जुष्मत् पूर्वजान् सनकादयोः चेरुर्विहायसाम् लोकान् लोकेषु विगत स्पृहा ब्रह्मवाचो मानसा मे सुता जुष्मत् पूर्वजा सनकादयोः चेरुर्विहायसा लोकान् लोकेषु विगत स्पृहा ब्रह्मवाचो मानसा मे सुता जुष्मत् पूर्वजा सनकादयोः जुष्मत् पूर्वजा सनकादयोः चेरुर्विहायसा लोकेषु विगत स्पृहा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Brahma said, my 4 sons, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana and Sanat Kumar, who were born from my mind, are your predecessors. Sometimes they travel throughout the material and spiritual skies without any definite desire. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When we speak of desire, we refer to desire for material sense gratification. Saintly persons like Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana and Sanat Kumar have no material desire. But sometimes they travel all over the universe out of their own accord to preach devotional service. The 4 Kumaras, those were born from the mind of Brahma, the Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sant Kumar, they have no material desire. What purpose they travel? Throughout the world, all over the universe, even in the spiritual skies also. They have no definite desire. Here in Purport Prabhupada says, out of their own accord they travel to preach the devotional service. Bhakti tattva only. Is it not a desire? Is it not a desire? Here is a no definite desire, no definite purpose. But in Purport Prabhupada says, sometimes they travel all over the universe out of their own accord to preach devotional service. So is it not a desire? Desire, first line in Purport Prabhupada says, when we speak of desire, we refer to desire for material sense gratification. That is desire. Kamo. Kamana. Do you understand? Material desire. Unlimited desire. Material desire means unlimited. Kamanar anta nahi. There is no end, no limit to material desire. Do you understand? Yes. Many desires are there. Ananta kamana hudi majhe. Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Ananta kamana hudi majhe. In my heart, unlimited desires are there. Yes. But these 4 Kumaras are free from material desires. They have no material desires. Only to preach science of devotional service, they travel throughout this material world. Also sometimes they go to spiritual world and the material, the spiritual sky also. Do you understand? So that is not material desire. Do you understand? That is said to be desirelessness, niskamata. Do you understand? Niskamata, desirelessness. Mahaprabhu has taught us. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kavitamba, jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanisware, bhavatat bhakti rahetu vitvayi. This is desirelessness. What one should ask for. Do you understand? Ask Lord for what? na dhanam, na dhanam, na sundarim kavitamba, jagadisha kamaya, mama janmani janmanishwari, bhavata bhakti rahitu kitoi. O Jagadishwara, O Lord of universe, I am not asking for material wealth. No dhanam. Dhana kamana. Do you understand? Desire for material wealth. That's material desire. So I am not asking for that. I have no such desire. No janam also. I am not asking for material followers. Those will praise me, those will flatter me. Yes. Speak of high of me. Do you understand? Sanstuta Purusha Pasu. Do you understand? So, desire, I have no such desire. I am not praying for that. Na dhanam, na dhanam, na sundari kamitamba, jagadisha kamaya. I have no desire for a beautiful woman to enjoy. Do you understand? No such lusty desire in him. And no desire for liberation. Bhavata janmani janmanishware, bhavata bhakti ahetu. Only give me Shuddha bhakti, pure devotion. Do you understand? Life after life, janmani janmanishware, life after life, I want to serve your lotus feet, give you all pleasure, all enjoyment to you. I never ask for any pleasure for me, or for any happiness for me, or any enjoyment for myself. This is desirelessness, niskamata. Do you understand? A niskama bhakta, who is a niskama bhakta, is very dear to the Lord, who has no material desire at all. Only one desire, that's not material desire, only to give pleasure to the Lord, give all pleasure, all enjoyment, all happiness to the Lord. That is desirelessness. Do you follow? These four Kumaras, they are such devotees. Here, Prabhupada says, when we speak of desire, we refer to desire for material sense gratification. But saintly persons like Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sant Kumar have no material desire. They are free from all these desires. When they were first born from the mind of Brahma, Manasaputra, these four Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sant Kumar, Brahma, who is their father, is also a Guru, Gurujan, yes, you understand? Father is also Guru, Gurujan. Sukra Janma, Trivida Janma, we have three types of birth. Sukra, Savitra, Daikya. Understand? Three types of birth we have. Sukra, Savitra, Daikya. Sukra Janma from Semina. Seminal birth. Father Semina. Sukra Janma. Who has given me this birth? Who has given me this body? Is my father, from whose semina I have gotten this body. Is my father, he is Gurujan. He is also Gurujan, he is superior, he is Guru. Then Savitra and Daikya. Janmana jayate Sudra sanskaru dija uchyate. That is said also. Janmana jayate Sudra sanskaru dija uchyate. All are born as Sudra. When they accept spiritual master, go to Guru Gruha, Guru's ashram, then Guru gives a new birth. Do you understand? Guru performs some purificatory ceremony, Diksha Sanskara. You say Sanskara, Dija Uchyate. Then second birth. One becomes Dija, second birth. Guru gives. The Guru is father, is spiritual father. He gives me that birth. Do you understand? Then that is initiation. One accepts Guru and Guru gives initiation. Second birth. Do you follow? Dija. Then Saukra Savitra Janma. Then Daikya Janma. Then Guru gives some mantra. They will become Brahmana, Gayatri mantra and other mantras. will perform some, yajnas, fire sacrifices. Do you understand? That is Daikya Janma. Trividha Janma. 3 types of birth we have. So those who give us this birth, they are our Gurujanas, superiors, Gurus. So Brahma is father, Brahma is also Guru, Gurujan of 4 Kumaras. When he gave birth to 4 Kumaras, he ordered them, you accept wife, you marry, you accept wife, and procreate progeny. Do you understand? Procreate progeny. Increase praja-buddhi. Do you understand my language? Population. But they refused. No, we won't do it. They refuse Guru's order, Gurujana's order. But general rule is there, nobody should disobey Guru's order. Nobody should disobey. You understand? In Raghuvansa you'll find sa susruvan matari bhargavesa pitu niyoga prahutam dvisadvata pratya gruhita grajasasanam tadagya gurunam hi abhicharaniya. Order of Guru Janas, superiors, should not be disobeyed. Just accept it as it is. Abhicharaniya. Don't add any deliberation to it. Accept it as it is without twisting it, without adding any deliberation of yours to it. Just accept it as it is. This is general. Raghuvan says, Sasusruvan matari bhargavesa pituni niyogat prahutam dvisadvata pratya gruhita grajasasanam tadagya gurunang hi abhicharaniya. Example is Parsuram. Parsuram is an incarnation of the Lord. Do you understand? Isn't it? Parsuram, his father is Jamadagni, father Guru. Gurujana, I say, father is also Gurujana. His father Ada, he has sons. His father Ada to cut off the head of their mother Renuka. Do you understand? That's the 9th canto also. He ordered, cut off the head of your mother Renuka. Nobody could carry it out. Do you understand? Allah, how will it be? You'll cut off the head of my mother? I'll kill her of my mother. I'll commit this of pap, matruhatya, mahapap, great sinful activity. You'll go to hell and suffer. All of his sons thought of like that. Nobody. Do you understand? Cut off, nobody carried out his order. At last he ordered Parsuram. Do you understand? Parsuram, without hesitation, immediately carried it out. He didn't add any deliberation to it. Immediately cut off the mother, the head of the mother, Renuka. Therefore it said, Pratyagruhita grajasasanam tadagya gurunang hi abhicharaniya. Yes. As if mother is enemy. Is mother enemy? Cut off. Because this Gurujana's order. And this teaching, Gurujana's order, should be carried out as it is. Don't twist it. Don't add any of your deliberation to it. Do you understand? Nirvicharu rigrahaniya. Without adding any deliberation, just accept and do. And Parsuram did it. Cut off. Do you understand? In Ramayana also you'll find. In Ramayana, Adodhya-kanda you'll find. Nirvicharam gururajñamaya karjya mahatmana Sreyo hevam bhavatyascha mamo chaiva vishesataha. Lord Ram said to this thing to Lakshmana. Do you understand? And to Bharata. Lakshmana and Bharata also. In Ramayana you'll find Dasarath Maharaj was the father of Lord Rama. Rama, the eldest son. 4 brothers, Ram, Lakshmana, Bharat, Shatrugna. They were born. You understand? Ram was the eldest son, very dear to Dasarath Maharaj. And proclamation was there throughout the kingdom, Ajodhya. Lord Ram would be king. Yes. You understand? Next morning, just next morning, all preparation was there. All so many rejoicings were there. People have decorated their houses, put the planted trees before the gate. So many auspicious arrangements were there. Lord Ram would be king, all were rejoicing. But during night time, everything completely changed. His youngest queen, Kaikeyi, begged for 2 boons. Previously, Dasarath Maharaj was very much pleased with the service of Kaikeyi, and he had asked for 2 boons. Kaikeyi said, whenever it is required, I'll ask for it. That day, Kaikeyi asked, that night. She had a maid servant named Manthara, very crooked nature woman, lady. So she gave instruction. Now this is time you ask for the 2 boons. Maharaj has already given you, to give you 2 boons. First boon, ask for that Lord Ram would go to forest for 14 years. And second boon, my son Bharat would be king. These 2 boons she asked for. And Dasarath Maharaj couldn't but grant it, couldn't say no. He has already promised to give it for 2 boons. And Kaikeyi has said, at the time, when the time will come, I'll ask for. This time has come along. But this is a great shock, that was a great shock. Maharaj Dasarath. Because Ram was his eldest son, must be the right son. He couldn't but grant it. And this was a great shock, and he died. You understand? He died. So, early in the morning, order came out. Order changed. This is a proclamation Ram would be king. Now order came out, Ram would go to forest for 14 years. And Bharat would be king. This order came out. Last order. And thus was that. Do you understand? So at that time, Bharat was not in the Ajodhya. He was in maternal uncle's house. And when Lord Ram got this order, he didn't ask anything. He followed it as it is. Yes. What is the Guru Jana's order? That is to be followed without adding any deliberation to it. Nirvichara vigrahaniya. Understand? And Lord Ram set up that example. He is Marjada Purushottama. Lord Ram is Marjada Purushottama. Lord Krishna is Leela Purushottama. Lord Ram is Marjada Purushottama. Gauranga is Prema Purushottama. Do you understand? Marjada Purushottama means he never transgresses Vedic etiquette. Very strictly Lord Ram follows, and he said, this is my mission. I have come here to teach the human society not to transgress Vedic etiquette. He very strictly self-follows and makes all of his citizens of Ajodhya and all the human beings of the whole world to follow it, not to transgress. Do you understand? And when this order came out, Lord Ram would go to forest for 14 years. Bharat would be king. He accepted it as it is. He never said, why? What fault of mine? Why shall I go to forest? I am the eldest son. I have right. I have birthright. On the throne, I have to sit on the throne. He never read any question. He just followed as it is. He said, Gurujana Ades Nirvichare Grahanya. Nirvicharam Gururagya Maya Karja Mahatmana Sreyo Hevam Bhavatyascha Mama Chaiva Vishesadaha. He said this thing. Without nirvichar, without adding any deliberation to it, Guru's order, Gurujana's order should be accepted and followed as it is. So there is no question. He gave up all royal dress, put on garment of a ascetic, you see, forest dweller, and went out for forest. You understand? And Dasrath Maharaj died. Bharat was not there at the time. Then he was called for. He came from material uncle's house, maternal uncle's house. Heard everything. This is the politics of his mother, Kaikeyi. He became displeased with his mother. No. Why do you like that? I am the servant of Lord Ram. Lord Ram is my master, I am his servant. How can I sit on the seat of my master? So he went to the nearby forest to make Lord Ram return. He requested Lord Ram, this is all in Ramayana. He requested Lord Ram, please return. Please return. You are my master, I am your servant. You are the eldest son, you have this right of sitting on the throne. I have no right at all. I am just to serve you. Here, then, Lord Ram quoted this verse. Nirvicharam guru rajya maya karja mahatmana sreyo hevam bhautyasta musaiva vishesadaha. He says, what is Gurujana's order? Superiors, Guru's and father, spiritual master, Guru's order, that should be accepted and executed as it is, without adding any deliberation to it. That is good for you and good for me, O Bharat. That's good for you and good for me, O Bharat. He quoted this. Also he quoted the first from Raghuvansa. Sa susruvan matari bhargovena pitu nyogat prahrutam dvisadavat pratyagruhida grajasasanam tadagya gurunam hi avicharniya. He quoted these two verses. Parshuram order, accepted, followed the order of his father and Guru. What is that? You understand? His father who said, chop off the head of your mother. See, he do it. Don't add any deliberation to it. My dear Bharat, that's good to you, that's good to me. Follow it as it is. This is the general rule. But here, 4 Kumars, they disobeyed. They disobeyed. Brahmaji is their father and also Guru. Yes. They disobeyed. No, we won't marry, we won't accept wife, we won't procreate progeny. We will remain forever brahmachari. You understand? Forever brahmachari will remain. Brahmachari life is a very good life. No cares, no anxiety, very happy life. Yes. Prabhupada says, very happy life, brahmachari life. No cares, no anxieties. If you become married, accept wife, so many cares, anxieties will come, so many problems will come. Yes. You will cry, you will cry, you will cry, you will cry. A wife has so many demands. Yes, many demands. Ideal husband means to fulfill the demands of the wife. Yes. Do you understand? So they disobeyed. Here the question is that when this is the principle, Guru Rajya Nirvichare Grahaniya, without adding any deliberation to it, one should follow, one should execute, one should obey Gurujana's Adesh, without deliberation, without adding any deliberation, but they disobeyed. And they become Mahadana, saintly person. Oh, Balir Bayasaki Bayam. These are 12 Mahajanas. And Kumaras come under them. How they become Mahajanas? Who disobeyed Guru's order. Guru's order. And general rule is not to be disobeyed. Just to accept, just to follow as it is without adding any deliberation to it. How is it? This is the question. How is it? Huh? Now, what shall we follow? What is for us? Shall we disobey Guru's order or shall we add any deliberation to it? Huh? Lord Ram and Lord Parsuram set up that example, not to disobey, not to add any deliberation to the Guru's order, Guru's order, just follow as it is. They set up that example. Whereas, 4 Kumaras set a different example. They disobeyed Brahma's order. Huh? Brahma is his father, Guru also. How is it that they become Mahajanas? Huh? What example they set up before us? Huh? Can you say? Huh? That means shall we disobey, that we follow them? Disobey Guru's order and should add any deliberation to it? Huh? Shall we do work like that? Huh? That is not for us. Do you understand? We follow the example of Parsuram and Lord Ram. Do you understand? Not to disobey, just accept Guru's order as it is without adding any deliberation to it. That we accept. Do you understand? Lord Ram is Marjada Purushottam. He said, I have come here, this is my mission. To set up example. Yes. So Lord Ram is ideal for everybody. For men folk, for women folk, Sita Devi is ideal. Yes. Pativrata Sati, most chaste lady, devoted wife. That's ideal. To set up this idealism. Lord Ram said, that's my mission. It's the Marjada Purushottama. But for Kumaras, they are Mahajanas, but what example they set up, that's not ideal for us. We should not disobey. Huh? Guru's order, and should not add any deliberation to it. But they did it. But you should understand, they are exceptional personalities. They are not ordinary persons. Do you understand? They are exceptional personalities. Do you understand? And we are not exceptional persons. We are general, ordinary persons. So general rule is meant for us. We should not disobey the general rule, principle. Yes. Vidhi alanghaniyam. What is principle? Vedic etiquette, we should not transgress it. That is for us, general. But for Kumaras are exceptional personalities. They remain brahmachari, always 5-year-old boy naked. Is general? It's completely exceptional. They are always 5-year-old naked boys. Yes. It's exceptional personalities. Do you understand? It's not for general. That is why. And their purpose is very, very high and noble purpose. All remain brahmachari, will never marry, should not accept. Remain brahmachari and without chaos and anxieties, fearlessly travel throughout the world and preach the science of devotional service. This is exceptional. It is not general. Do you understand? So we should not follow what is exceptional, because we are not exceptional personalities. General rule is applicable for us. So this is general rule, that Gurujana's orders should not be disobeyed, should be accepted as it is. Don't twist it, don't add any deliberation to it, just as it is. This example is Parsuram, example is Lord Ram. Understand? This is one point. Next thing comes. Sakama and Niskama Bhakta. One who has many material desires is Sakama. He may be a devotee, but he has many material desires also. And he comes to the Lord and begs for to fulfill all his material desires also. Yes. And Niskama Bhakta was no material desire at all. Na dhanam, na dhanam, na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamai mama janmani janmanishwari bhota bhakti rahetu. Yeah? It's Niskama Bhakta. No material desire at all. Huh? Life after life, I'll give you all pleasure, all enjoyment, all happiness. I never for any happiness, any pleasure for myself. That is Niskam Bhakta. And on whom Krishna is pleased. Huh? Is he pleased with Sakam Bhakta or Nishkam Bhakta? These four Kumaras here, they are Nishkam Bhaktas. Prabhupada says, saintly person like Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sant Kumar have no material desire. Sometimes they travel all over the universe out of their own accord, preach devotional service also, thereby to preach. The science of devotional service, Krishna is very much pleased with it. Niskam Bhakta. And Niskam Bhakta, here in Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll find devatas, demigods. Demigods are also devotees. Are they not devotees? They carry out the order of Supreme Lord, yes, but they are Sakam Bhaktas. They have desires. Many material desires they have. Now they are afraid of. Two demons are coming in the womb of Viti. Now there's such darkness is there. No sunlight. They are very afraid of. Now they are approaching Brahma. What is this? Why this comes? They are afraid of, you see. Oh, everything will be finished. There annihilation may come, complete annihilation, everything. Our position will go, we'll die, we'll be finished. They are afraid of this thing. Because they have desire. They are Sakam Bhaktas, they have desire. But a pure devotee has no desire at all. Na dhanam, na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamai mama janmani janmanishwari bhavatar bhakti rahetu. Do you understand? No desire at all. No material desire for enjoyment, no desire for material enjoyment, no desire for material liberation also. Bhavatar bhakti rahetu, only rahetu ki bhakti. They beg for pure devotion, beg for another devotion only. Life after life. I'll serve your lotus feet, O Lord, and give all pleasure and enjoyment. Third canto, Srimad Bhagavatam also you'll find. This is Brahmaji also. Nati prasidati tathopo chitopatari aradhita suraganir hribaddhakami jat sarva bhuta dayaya asad labhya eko nana janesu avahita srudantaratmana. This is third canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th chapter, text 12. Brahmaji says, Nati prasidati. Supreme Lord never becomes pleased with the persons who have material desires. Tadhopacharir aradhita suraganir. Is suragana, the devatas, the demigods, they have many, many desires, material desires. Deva janma is bhoga janma. Do you understand? Birth of a demigod birth is not considered durlabha janma, not considered rarely achieved birth. Manava janma is considered rarely achieved birth. Durlabha manava janma. Do you understand? The human birth is considered rarely achieved birth, but not the birth of a demigod. Birth of demigod is not considered rarely achieved birth, but the human birth is. Why? Because the demigod, though they are in higher planetary systems, yes, they are higher planetary systems, isn't it? But They have so many desires, many material desires. Desires of enjoyment, bhoga joni. They are enjoying there. So much material enjoyment is there. And the lifespan is very long lifespan, one kalpa. You cannot calculate such long lifespan. They have gotten, and they have occupied higher planetary systems. They have some controlling capacity also. They are controlling some activities of this material universe. Yes. And they are enjoying. And they are always afraid of. Yes, what happened? We lose our position, our material enjoyment, so much material enjoyment, we lose this, then we will be bereft of this thing. They are afraid. Do you understand? They are afraid. As long as you have material desires, you cannot have a happy life at all. No? Always in anxiety, always in fearful condition, yes. Here this verse says, Nati prasidati tathopachari radhita suragunair hrudipaddhakami jat sarva bhuta dayaya asadalabhyaya eko nana janesu avahita sudantaratma. Brahmaji says, this is the statement Brahmaji, O Lord, you are the super soul of all the living entities. You are there in the heart of all living entities. You are only well-wisher friend of all living entities. Those who are bhaktas, those who are non-devotees, they cannot understand you. They cannot get you. They have many material desires. They want to enjoy. Even they kill the innocent animals. Yes. Innocent animals eat their flesh to give pleasure to their palate. Do you understand? They have no mercy to living entities, towards living entities. Do you understand? But those who are devotees, your devotees and Lord, those who developed on devotion, they have no desires at all, no desire for material enjoyment, no desire for liberation. Only they desire how to give you all pleasure, all enjoyment, all happiness, life after life. And you are very much pleased with them. Do you understand? Pleased with them. But this demigod, Suragani means demigods. These demigods have many material desires, Hrudibaddhagami, in their heart. So many material desires they have. And they also offer worship to you. They offer worship to you. Upachita upachare. With sorts of upachara puja, with 16 types of items they offer very opulent worship to you, because they are in an opulent position. So much opulence, material opulence is there in heavenly planet. And they offer worship also. But nati prasidati. But you are not pleased with them. You are not pleased with them, O Lord. Why? Hrudibaddhakami. Because so many unlimited material desires they have in their heart. In order to fulfill their material desire, they offer worship to you. Give us this thing, give us this thing, give us this thing, give us this thing. They only ask so many things.